The image is burned into our collective imagination. A single colossal stone dragon snaking its way across the mountains of China, a monolithic structure so vast it can be seen from space with the naked eye. But this image, this fundamental idea of the Great Wall, is a myth. The truth is far more complex, far more fragmented, and infinitely more fascinating. The Great Wall is not one wall, but a network of them, a discontinuous, overlapping, and ever-evolving system of fortifications, trenches, and natural barriers built by more than 20 dynasties over 2 millennia. It is a structure whose mortar contains a surprising secret ingredient that makes it strong enough to resist modern bulldozers, a project whose staggering human cost earned it the title of the longest cemetery on Earth, and a sophisticated communication network that functioned like a pre-modern internet. This is the story of the Great Wall's hidden secrets, the truths that lie buried beneath centuries of legend. The idea of a single continuous wall stretching from one end of China to the other is a fiction, a grand oversimplification that entered our consciousness not from Chinese tradition, but through early European sources who romanticized the structure. The reality is a sprawling, fragmented tapestry of defensive architecture. The total length of every section ever built is an astonishing 21,196 kilometers, more than half the circumference of the Earth. But these sections were never all connected at once. The project began over 2,300 years ago, not as a grand imperial vision, but as a series of modest, disconnected walls built by separate kingdoms during the Warring States period to defend their own territories from each other. It was the first emperor of a unified China, Qin Shi Huang, who first connected many of these existing fortifications around 220 BC to create a more cohesive defense against northern nomads. But even this was not the final version. Subsequent dynasties, most notably the Han and the Ming, built, rebuilt, and rerouted their own sections, often running parallel to older, decaying walls from centuries past. This resulted in a complex web of main walls, inner walls, parallel walls, and sections with no man-made barrier at all, where impassable mountains or raging rivers served as natural defenses. In some areas, the wall is even bidirectional, with battlements on both sides, reflecting a dynamic and ever-changing border where today's ally could be tomorrow's enemy. The Great Wall is not an it, but a them, a collection of distinct structures, each with its own unique history, materials, and purpose, a silent testament to the shifting borders and changing threats that defined ancient China. For centuries, one of the most enduring secrets of the Great Wall lay hidden in plain sight: its mortar. The sections built during the Ming dynasty, the most well-preserved and iconic parts of the wall we see today, are bound together by a substance of incredible strength and longevity. Legends claimed it was mixed with the bones of dead workers, but the truth is far more ingenious. Ancient Chinese engineers developed a revolutionary composite mortar by mixing standard lime with a common kitchen staple, sticky rice. It may sound unusual, but it was a marvel of early biochemistry. When cooked, sticky rice releases amylopectin, a complex carbohydrate with highly adhesive properties. When this sticky rice soup was mixed with slaked lime, the amylopectin acted as a powerful organic binder, creating a compact microstructure that was stronger and far more water-resistant than traditional lime mortar. This organic-inorganic mixture gave the mortar a unique elasticity, allowing it to absorb the shock and stress from earthquakes and ground shifts without cracking. The bond it created was so powerful that in many sections, weeds still cannot grow between the bricks, and these 600-year-old walls have proven strong enough to resist even the force of modern bulldozers. This simple, sustainable, and incredibly effective technology, using a readily available crop, was one of the greatest technical innovations of its time, a secret recipe that allowed the wall to endure for centuries against the forces of both man and nature. The Great Wall is a monument to human ingenuity, but it is also a monument to human suffering. Its construction came at an almost unimaginable cost in lives, earning it the grim nickname, the longest graveyard on Earth. While the myth that workers' bones were mixed into the mortar is false, the reality is that the bodies of countless laborers who died during its construction were buried in and around the wall. The labor force was a vast and varied collection of humanity, conscripted from every corner of the empire. It included hundreds of thousands of soldiers, but the bulk of the work was done by forcibly recruited peasants, disgraced noblemen, and convicts. Under the Qin and Han dynasties, being sentenced to work on the wall was a common and feared form of punishment. These laborers were forced to work under brutal conditions, facing extreme weather, treacherous terrain, the constant threat of attack, and meager food supplies that often led to starvation. It's estimated that during the Qin dynasty alone, the construction may have cost over 400,000 lives, with some campaigns reporting casualty rates as high as 80%. This immense human toll is immortalized in one of China's most famous legends, the story of Meng Jiangnu. Her husband, Fan Xiliang, was seized by imperial officials and forced into labor on the wall shortly after their wedding. When winter came and he had not returned, she journeyed hundreds of miles to bring him warm clothes, only to discover upon her arrival that he had died from exhaustion and been buried within the structure. Overcome with grief, she wept at the base of the wall for days until her bitter sorrow caused a section to collapse, revealing her husband's bones so she could give them a proper burial. While the story is a myth, it captures a profound truth about the Great Wall. It was built on the backs and the bones of millions of. To view the Great Wall as merely a passive barrier is to miss its true purpose. It was not just a wall, it was a sophisticated and integrated military system designed for surveillance, rapid communication, and troop movement. The key to this system was its estimated 25,000 watchtowers, which served as garrisons, armories, and, most importantly, the nodes of an ancient communication superhighway. Positioned at regular intervals and on high ground for maximum visibility, these towers formed an elaborate signaling network. Using a standardized code, guards could relay messages across vast distances with incredible speed. During the day, they used smoke signals, often created by burning a mixture of wolf dung for its dense, dark smoke. And at night, they used fire beacons. This system was so efficient that a message warning of an attack on the western frontier could be transmitted tower to tower and reach the capital hundreds of miles away in a matter of hours, far faster than a horse-mounted messenger could travel. Beyond communication, the wall itself served as a vital transportation corridor. The wide paved top of the Ming-era walls allowed soldiers and supplies to be moved quickly along the mountainous terrain, enabling commanders to reinforce sections under attack. It was a highway in the sky, allowing the Chinese Empire to project its military power across its northern frontier. The wall wasn't just meant to keep invaders out, it was designed to give its defenders the strategic advantages of surveillance, speed, and communication. For all its ancient history, the Great Wall is still giving up its secrets. Modern archaeological techniques are allowing researchers to rewrite the very beginning of its story. For centuries, the wall's origins were tied to the Qin dynasty, but recent excavations in eastern China's Shandong province have unearthed sections of what is known as the Great Wall of Qi, pushing its construction date back by hundreds of years. Using a multidisciplinary approach that includes traditional artifact analysis, soil sampling, and advanced dating methods like carbon-14 and optically stimulated luminescence, archaeologists have dated these early fortifications to the late Western Zhou dynasty and the early spring and autumn period around the 8th century BC. This discovery confirms that the tradition of building defensive walls in China is far older than previously thought and began with smaller rival states long before the country was unified. These digs are also revealing what life was like for the people who lived in the wall's shadow. Beneath the oldest foundations, archaeologists have found the remains of semi-subterranean homes, pottery, and tools, suggesting that the earliest walls were built to protect small established settlements. Technology is playing a crucial role, with satellite imagery helping to identify previously unknown or buried sections of the wall, constantly revising our understanding of its true scale and complexity. The Great Wall of China is not the simple, singular monument of popular imagination. It is a complex, evolving testament to both the brilliance and the brutality of human ambition. It is a story of engineering genius, from its earthquake-resistant rice mortar to its rapid-fire communication system. It is a story of immense sacrifice, built with the lives of millions who were conscripted into its service, and it is a story that is still being uncovered as new discoveries continue to push back the frontiers of its ancient history. The wall often failed to stop major invasions by nomadic forces like the Mongols, who simply went around its discontinuous sections. Yet it remains one of the most profound structures ever created, a symbol of unity and perseverance. Its hidden secrets reveal that its true significance lies not in its ability to divide people, but in the incredible stories it tells about those who built it. It forces us to wonder, what other monumental secrets still lie buried, waiting for the right tools and the right questions to bring them to light?